whichever one it is. Anyway.
Well, let's go ahead and talk to the representatives about how they're feeling as T1 and Aggressor are going to join us on the program. How are you guys doing today?
Hey.
Hey.
All right, T1. So, you guys, you're sitting in third place right now. You need a win. What's your week kind of been like? You guys feel ready for your match versus Dare right now, knowing what's on the line?
Yeah, last time it was pretty, one-sided. We won 5-2. We feel like it should have been a 5-1, but, just expecting the same thing. Go in, just do what we want to do, and just be done, win.
All right, and now Aggressor, you guys, you've been pretty strong this season. You're sitting in second place right now, a spot that I'm sure you guys want to keep. However, last week, that match versus top tier, as we were just talking about, doesn't give any of us exactly a whole lot of confidence in you guys right now. Why are we wrong?
That match was just bad. We didn't show up, but we're going to show up for this match. I think we're going to walk over eClipse like we should be doing.
All right.
So fighting words. So you feel that you are the stronger team right now?
I feel like we are the stronger team. I think we were prepared. We've been practicing a lot. Been doing double practices. Like I said, the top tier match was a wake-up call, and we're ready.
All right. T1, response?
We've only lost to you guys once, and that was because we had a bad night last season. So, we usually win. So I'm just going to keep on winning.
Status quo, as you will.
Yep.
All right, Randall, any questions for him?
Yeah, actually, just a little side thing. T1, what game are you watching behind you?
Well, unfortunately, the Flyers and Nashville game is not working on my TV, so I have the Blackhawks and Montreal on. So.
Oh, okay. Well, my condolences.
All right. That about does it for me, guys. Aggressor, any final thoughts for T1 and Eclipse?
Good luck, man.
All right, T1, any final thoughts for Aggressor and Dare Rising?
Good luck, have fun.
All right, guys, we'll see you guys in the battlefield in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you so much. All right, that does it. I actually am satisfied with those answers.
Confidence. I like the confidence out of Aggressor.
You don't get it a lot. You don't get that a lot from either team. Most people are a little bit wary to say or to put out there their kind of confidence, because often what happens is if you talk big and then you lose, you feel pretty
rewind
bad.
For an hour ago and remember a certain face-off that happened earlier, and look at how that went.
Yeah.
So, if history holds true, we'll have to see.
I'm just glad he was willing to share an opinion about this, because a lot of the time people will just shy away from saying we're ready or we're not because they don't want to give their opponent that idea. But the thing is, both of these teams know how important this match is for them.
Yeah, they're both ready, and double practices coming out for Dare Rising. So putting in the time. I think the other NA team that's putting up double practices consistently is Elevate.
Yeah.
So knowing that, now Eclipse, they're always composed and ready. However, they've kind of been a little shaky recently. So maybe not the most consistent out of them, but like they said, they won last time. So we'll have to see if anything different happens today. As the countdown is down to 30 seconds before we get into our first battle. Now, going on to Ghost Town, Randall, what do you expect out of Dare?
All right, so probably just normal play, straight towards the 1-2, and then we'll see where it splits. Now, what we'll be watching for, what I'm kind of watching for, is to see if we see any deviation from those normal run-in-the-mill strats, because Eclipse is great at those straightforward, just traditional Ghost Town plays, and then Dare as well has shown us that they can handle those as well, but they also can bring out some strategies which are kind of like second or third tier. They're not as consistent, but if well executed, they can work. So, taking a look at the lineups, I think that's where we're going to have to see our first big tell, because Eclipse bringing a mouse, and then 2 T-57s, 2 Type 5s, that 5A, and a Bat Chat.
Meanwhile, Dare, an I-7, 3 mice, 2 T-57s of their own, and a 5A, so opting for no mobile tanks. They are on offense, though, so that indicates probably a set play of sorts, going for 1 cap, getting cap pressure, and just holding firm, not needing to flex around the map. However, both teams opting for T-57s. This is something that we're starting to see come back in favor a little bit more. For a while, because of the nerfs it received over a couple years ago now, no longer as mobile as the 50B. However, with the meta changing and the Type 5s and the mice, starting to be a lot more prevalent, having those heat shells and the insane DPM that T-57 brings to the table can be rather nice.
So, opening moves now as we look across. We've got Positive on an opening scout run right up the middle of the map there. He isn't going to find much this time, and instead decide, well, maybe just chill out for a moment. Although he may be in for an unfortunate surprise once he finds T-57s 1, 2, 3, and who's that with him? Aggressor. If they do find him, I think those 2 T-57s could do a decent job at tearing him apart. But opening spots do happen. IS-7s on their way in. Nationwide and Bird are taking damage. And they're going to head for the 1 cap. So normal 1 cap play. we're going to have to see what Dare's plan is to deal with that traditional defense that we're seeing out of eClipse right now. Because the trick here as your defender is not to get caught off guard on that counter flank, and then of course don't let your cap get too far out of hand.
And that seems to be the bait that Dare wanted them to fall for as they're pushing forward. Dark God Zim is currently scrambling to get up against the building. The rest of the guns are trying to get in position to cover. Positive is in behind, and he spots the whole team. And these tanks coming through now. We'll have to see what the tanks on cap do for Dare, because they need to find a way to get their guns into the fight. I don't know how effective they'll be able to be currently. Now, one reset does come in.
It's going to be a smart play to get off the cap and pressure on the fight, because Positive in the backfield right now is going to be able to get all the resets he wants once he gets into position. Right now, the advantage that you see for Dare is that they do have more, well, they did until they lost Durgil, more guns on the battlefield in that area to support. Right now, the problem is that Positive has finally found Nationwide and should be able to get a kill. That's going to even this up. That's actually going to create a small lead for eClipse.
Keep an eye on both the 57s right now for eClipse. They're coming off their reload, getting into their second clip. They need to make these count, and they need to equalize guns quickly to make sure they close this out.
Yep, focus looks like it's going to go straight onto Dark Ninja, or shift onto Bird. Although, it looks like focus is hard to keep straight right now. Exo has 7 hit points right now, and he's on reload. He will go down, leaving Drawcab all alone.
T1 looking for the shot onto Bird. Gets a shot, not able to finish him though. Only 460, and Drock is still reloading. Positive's coming in with his HP.
This is a mess for both teams. Right now, this is a mess. Focus Fire's better right there on Dare, but eClipse could be able to close this one out. There we go. Positive being reloaded is huge.
Yeah, but now Positive should be able to get a couple more shots off. Knows that he has the HP, and I really like that out of Positive, knowing he has the HP to play with, pushing in, making sure that 1, 2, 3 goes down, not letting him get onto his second clip. And Germ missing a shot onto Bird. Both him and T1 are full HP though, so I don't see this going any other way. T1 finishes off Bird and actually sets T1 on fire.
Nice. That's gonna help a little bit. Of course, Dark probably can't finish this off. Germ is full health, so this should be ending in a moment. Nice play though by eClipse. Although Dare definitely lost out in some crucial areas here, and that'll be battle number 1. It's tricky to win on attack though. This is eClipse.
Those double T57s, I've talked about it before. I don't remember exactly where. I don't think it was here on the broadcast. I think
you have actually. You mentioned it before.
Yeah, the difference between 2 versus 1.
Yes.
I know I've had the conversation at some point. I just can't remember where, but
we have.
You know,
yeah.
two T57s there. First tank came around. I believe it was Durgil in that mouse. Look at no damage out. Just got completely deleted when he was the opening tank, and that's the power of those two T57s is, it's 3,200 damage in their clip right there. If they make all their shots count, that's any tank in the game dead, provided they don't have an insane amount of low rolls back to back to back, which, RNG happens, but it's unlikely. Yeah, not by that much.
That's why you're bringing those 2 tanks, because they're just going to be a hit squad. They're going to go find a tank and just destroy it, leave for a second, come back again, and just keep doing that work.
Burst management is something that we talk about every now and then, especially with the bat chats, but the thing that's kind of deceptive about that T57 is, it gets off the 4 shots in 6 seconds, basically, from start to finish. And then it only has a 22-second reload on the clip. That's only really an extra shot or 2 for the mouse. That's not a whole lot, or in the case, another shot for the Type 5. So you really have to be careful when you're making that play, because sometimes what happens is you see the 57s empty their clip, and then you really push forward and you commit even further. But if you can't kill those 57s quickly, all of a sudden they're off the reload again, and you've only done 1 more volley's worth of damage, and they're ready to put out another clip. So, it really worked out for eClipse this game.
Yeah, and look at the post-game. Dark Ninja actually does a great job when his mouse doing 4K, putting up decent points. Germ tonight starting off strong with 4K, and then Exo as well, 3,400. Not bad across the board. T57's putting up decent damage here and there, but Aggressor, unfortunately for Dare, gets taken down before he's able to do as much damage as he was potentially able. And again, noting that Durgil, while not able to deal any damage, got completely obliterated.
Yep, and that's the strength of those 57s. And, to be fair, Dare had them of their own, but they were never in a position to really focus on any given tank and really be involved consistently. So, in an offensive role, maybe not as strong, but in it's sort of those roles where you can watch a lane, a push is coming, you can set up for it. And another thing is I like how eClipse set up. They knew they had to stretch the angles and make Dare pick an angle.
Yeah. Anyway, 2 mice, T57, Type 5, 2 5As, and a bat chat for eClipse. On the other side, Dare will be taking those 3 113s, a 50B, Leopard 1, Type 5, and a mouse.
Yep. So, but my point is this, is when they were making that push, what eClipse did that was really smart was they said, all right, we're going to set up a crossfire. And, you know, Dark God Zim, instead of panicking and getting caught out in the open, pushed all the way across, got over next to, I believe that was Photo Finish in the Type 5. And they just chilled out there and made sure that Dare had to pick one direction so they couldn't focus out everyone. And the 57s in the Type 5 held the other angle, and they did a great job punishing Dare. Now, looking at the setup, a very split setup from Dare, really trying to cover the map. 113 down the south.
Also says nothing's going to happen on the 1 cap, guys, so let's not stack up to defend that. Notice that one.
Yep, and they have the Leopard 1 up at A1
his
to get
vision.
those resets.
Aggressor gets really solid vision right now, spotting Dark God Zim, Photo, and Draw Cap. So with that intel, James, I think Dare has a pretty confident idea of what's coming. They know that this is going to be just straight around to the south, just right around the bend. And because of that, well, Dare's already set up to deal with it. They've got their 50B, Leopard in the backfield, 113, nice forward position. This is good. This is good for Dare. They have everything they need to make the right decisions going forward. Question is, will Eclipse allow that to happen, or will Dare guarantee that kind of success? We'll see.
Yeah, and looking at it, I don't, Eclipse, they're kind of being a little bit maybe indecisive, just kind of looking for something coming out of Dare, maybe an early flex that they're kind of predicting is going to happen. But Dare aren't having any of it. They're just chilling out right now in the backfield. TTB sitting at C1. Looks like he's flexing towards the south a little bit. And everyone else just chilling out.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a listen in with Eclipse on attack here. See what's going through their minds, through their comms.
Have a Type 5 here.
Yeah, they're not gonna flank like this yet. When positive, when you go there, I can go here.
Yeah,
I'll keep spot.
No,
yeah,
I'm
start
sorry.
spawning.
They probably have a 113 maybe up here. Probably not though, because that would be a pick.
It may have been
but
there earlier. I'm gonna
113
start
might be
moving up.
here, and a 50B might be
Then be
here.
ready to see if
50B will be
something's
there.
Or that, yeah. Did Aggressor shoot?
I didn't see.
Yeah, he fired.
50B will
Okay,
just
nah,
chill
it's too
there,
late now
because he
for
can
me to
shoot
peek.
stuff here and then there.
Okay, nothing there. I'm crossing.
Yeah, Bill's on blue. He shot at me.
7.5 minutes. Got lots of time.
113.
Is he picked up pretty high?
There's Type 5.
Type
5's over there, yeah.
Yeah, we can. We can push in like this and like this. I think these are the
113's
two
looking
picks.
at me. Nation's looking at me.
Okay, how can we do this?
We need to be careful of Leo.
Yeah, the Leo's gonna farm on this road.
Go to the building. Go to the building. Push all the way.
I'm just gonna stay up high, I think.
They're gonna have a 50B down there too. So okay, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this to make it right? They're still shooting shit. They just shot something on the cap, so that was this guy firing.
Heavies from
Yeah.
cap, this guy's to this position. I don't know, heavies can rotate like, I don't know,
Yeah, he's
or we
still
can just
shooting
go for this, but we need to pick one of them.
Spot south somewhere.
Yeah, we're gonna have to like figure out the numbers though of how we're gonna pick this. Like we should push mice in like this, right? Like on Freedom Road on the right hand side of that road.
Just need to take this
To get the
and
113.
then, like, push this.
Just
We
take
can
that
scare
with
this
the
mouse if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can spot.
I haven't been lit up
We
here.
probably need WZs then to do that.
Mouse is starting to
I
back
can go
out a little bit.
south.
No, he just.
Guys, they have a Leo and a Type 5 out of the fight. So
Okay, I got lit by aggressor now.
didn't we do this in practice? Didn't we take down south? So this is what we should probably do.
I got
Let
lit
me
so
know.
I know what
Aggressor's
this is.
already-
Mouse there.
Aggressor has some HP
There's a
gone,
113
so...
really far south.
I got lit
Oh,
leaving.
okay.
They have like
113
two
south.
tanks that can't immediately
Yeah.
do damage.
We
We
have
just
to come
push
do a
into
dumpster
113.
push.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to do a
We'll have to
dumpster.
just
They
push.
don't
Can
have
we
a
push
push.
Aggressor
Waiting
then?
for Jerem.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah, wait for me, wait for me.
Oh, this
Zim will be going to there.
I'll just stay up high in 57.
Wait, should I go with positive or no?
No,
We
no.
just going
no
for
budget.
aggressor?
Yeah, no budget. This way.
Wait for Zem.
Masses
and
go
Jerem.
first,
Yeah,
Yeah,
mice have to go first.
and then I'll
Are you
follow
back?
up.
You're backing him up off T1, right?
What, the
Like,
113?
He can't peek. Oh yeah.
He spot me.
Okay, let's go.
He took my
Okay,
rack, but
yeah.
it was a
Go
good
with
Let's
drop.
go,
first.
Oh, wait, I'm spotted, okay.
It's fine.
Let's go.
Jock, you're ahead of everybody.
Fine, it's fine.
He's running.
I'll catch up in like 2 seconds.
He's going.
He's going south,
There's
50B.
type- there's
50 shot one.
He's gonna shoot him. He's tracking me. He's not penny.
Nice.
Three.
He shot me
three.
once. He shot
Can we
two
go
at me.
left?
He shot 2 at
50B?
me. He's clipping. 50B's clipping.
Coming.
50B's clipping.
Jerem, you go left.
Heal this way.
Left.
Yeah, I'm backing off.
I'll
I'm
block.
backing up. No, I'm fine.
113
I
shot.
might shoot the building.
Yeah,
We'll stay
we
here,
need to
just-
go down here and get this 113.
But we need one mouse maybe there.
Because these guys are rotating. These guys are rotating right now.
The
We
mouse
need to
is
go
gonna
for
preem this
The
corner.
50B's aiming south. Watch out.
We're letting
shot
we're
150.
letting the 150 like
We're letting him
50
get away.
moving
Come on,
down
guys.
south.
Go, 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 go.
yeah, we just let him get
Let's
away.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
And we're letting them be able to
Cracked him, but he
rotate.
fared.
We're going, we're going,
Exo.
we're going.
We're not gonna get that guy anymore.
You guys let me get shot.
Look for this.
Just block me.
50B's gonna be poking. He's just knocked down the tree. Okay, got a free one in him.
Jack, don't push up to the
Type 5,
113.
Type
Type
5.
5, be careful of the Type 5.
113 shot at photo.
Type 5 shot.
You can all rotate and push
Can you
113,
guys-
I don't know.
Yeah, can
You guys
can
get
we
out?
get
Somebody
this guy?
push with me, Winston.
I'll go.
In the south or north?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Just do it
Yeah,
now.
this one.
Can we send like a mouse or
Yeah,
whatever in?
Actually, yeah.
we got
let
four.
me go,
We got
let me
4
go.
minutes. We
Yeah,
got 4
Photo
minutes.
getting backed off. I need to
Let's go
poke
for
again.
this one. He's 50B spotted, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I hit him.
I hit him too.
197 though. He shot once.
I shot-
He's
I
500
shot.
HP.
113.
No,
Mouse is
push
coming.
He shot
You guys need
once,
help
but I'll try to kill
I'll try to-
National.
They're pushing.
They're
Mouse
gonna
is
counter push. They're gonna counter
Yeah, the
push
113 is gonna be
those
coming
Luigi's.
from south too,
Nice.
photo. Just
Or
keep
there.
backing up.
Just keep back.
You guys winning up there?
Type 5 shot me. Leo,
I'm coming to
Leo.
you, Zen. I'm coming
I'm
to
just
you.
staying alive, I'm just staying alive.
Yeah,
I'm coming
I'll
to
help
you.
our Wheezies. I'll help the Wheezies.
I'm good, photo.
50B
Yeah,
shot one.
Bait them around. Bait them around. I'll clip them.
Guys,
can
we're
clip
running out of
aggressor.
time. Can we kill?
Mouse, maybe, or what?
Or is Germ gonna?
113, Dirgel's on your left. Dirgel's on your left. Just kill aggressor, Exo. You have to kill him with your flip.
Okay. 113 is a shot too. Okay.
Yeah, but 50B.
The 113's fall down over there.
Rotate back and kill these guys,
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to kill South.
Yeah, these
Are we
guys.
getting
Check,
mouse?
The mouse and the 113
Watch out!
are
Watch
low.
out! Watch out! Watch out! Watch
Four
out!
tanks on us, four
Watch
tanks on
out!
us. We need to
You're
kill
blocking.
Okay. I'll just stay.
Yeah.
Shock, just go back.
This one's too. I need to one shot.
They just shot.
Full.
I'm trying to kill this
just-
mouse. Can we go? Push this! Push
Yeah,
this!
go,
Push
go.
this!
Guys with HP, go. T1 goes, Exo, you follow up with photo.
50B
I'll kill
minus
the mouse.
one.
I'm
I'll
going
kill the
with
mouse.
T1.
He's aiming south.
50B's coming down. 50B's coming down.
I'll just stare at
okay.
50B.
I'll aim at aggressor. T1.
Nice. 50B's on the. 50B's up high. He's
High,
one
low
shot.
world.
50B's on one shot. Kill the 113. Kill Dirge on aggressor.
Yeah, Dirgel's one
I have
shot.
three.
Leopard just shot me. Leopard just shot me.
I'm just aiming at 50B.
Can we?
If
Can
he
we
pokes,
kill?
I shoot him.
Can we kill the 113 Dirgel?
Yeah.
Just kill Dirgel. And then we
If
have to
you'll
kill
go
aggressor
forward,
next.
I
Kill
kill
aggressor next.
aggressor.
Kill aggressor next.
Okay.
We have time, we have time.
We need,
Yeah, we have 2 minutes.
Jerem, watch
I'm
out.
clipping.
Yeah,
They're
we're
gonna
running.
push
We're
me.
running low on
This
time.
Leo's coming around, but I'll
No,
stop
no,
him.
no, I
T1.
will kill Leo.
I'm gonna
Okay.
leave the 50B.
He shot me. He shot me.
Oh, he's
They're
gonna
pushing
push.
drop.
I was gonna try to get over and get into cap or something.
Can we
50B's
kill the
on me.
50B? Can you, 50B shot me? Can we kill the 50B?
Oh shit.
I shot Leo,
saw
I
it,
one
but-
shot,
okay.
guys.
I wasn't looking,
Can
I'm
someone
sorry.
shoot 113, 113.
I'm rotating back. Photo, come back.
Kill the 113. Push 113.
I want to
Push
go
113,
around.
guys.
Push 113. Positive will be able to kill the Leo. Positive will be able to kill the Leo
Okay.
if he doesn't get shot by the 113.
We have to kill this 113 fast.
Got positive.
We're a bunch of one
Nice.
shots. We
Kill the
have to go.
113. Kill the 113.
Keep the
113 will shoot
fucking
positive.
clippers alive.
He's
Zim
gonna
just
shoot
go. Zim just take the hit.
I don't have shots for the 113.
Type 5 next
Yeah.
after the 113. We're all.
Type
Type
5
5 shot. Type 5 shot.
Type of shot,
Kill,
type of shot.
you need to kill the
113's looking at me. Zim, go, 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 go. He's not looking.
113's looking at Exo.
He shot.
113 shot.
Oh,
113 shot.
113 shot. 113 shot. Thank
Okay.
you.
Go
Pipe's
together.
poking for me.
Go
Pipe's gonna shoot.
together.
Pipe's gonna
Don't-
shoot.
Don't die. to
I'm
the
trying not
side.
to.
I'm
He
clipping.
didn't fire. He did not fire. He did not
Let
fire.
Exo clip. Let
Exo-
Exo clip and then
Let
Let
Exo
die.
clip and then
Yeah,
go.
just go.
I can take shot, I can take
Let
He's
shot.
looking at you,
Zim
Photo.
take
Photo, he's looking at you.
Yeah,
1
yeah.
minute.
Zim.
I have
Germ, go behind.
9
Yeah, I'm going
seconds.
behind.
Guys, just let Germ
Yeah.
go behind. You have plenty of time. Don't let
You can
Exo
only-
die.
Plenty of time.
Once you one,
Zim.
they have to kill them both.
He's Zim
Just
drives
pushing
in.
Zim. He's pushing
push,
Zim.
guys,
He's
push.
pushing Zim.
He
He
shot,
shot. He shot. He shot.
Yeah, just go.
Exo will be able to clip him out.
I
He
didn't
doesn't
realize he
have
was
time.
high pushing through. Just go. Kill. Kill. Kill.
He don't have time.
Good shit. Good job, guys.
I want to kill
Nice.
Exo so bad, but my fan.
All right, that's battle number 2.
That was
Victory.
fun.
We stayed with the comms because it was just so interesting. That was just solid comms, a little crazy sometimes, but of course that's the way they work.
Now, the one thing, we've had this conversation off and on, we haven't talked about recently, though, you know, having a single dedicated caller versus community-style calling.
Yeah.
The biggest downside to community-style calling is for the exact reason we just heard. Those comms are pure chaos. Now, eClipse, they're starting to do it very well. It's been kind of a question mark for me, just knowing how that team kind of runs and seeing the results. However, that's the benefit for it. Very fluid, you know, everyone working together. The coordination was near perfect. They had, you know, until like a couple minutes left, they had all 7 tanks alive, all sharing HP, all getting around. positive with a good pick there on the Leo. Got unfortunately bounced that shot on the 113, ended up going down. But overall, you know, a very tight game, but they made it work.
Yeah, they did. It's just solid teamwork, and well, Dare had strong responses is something to note as well, because you can even see that in the post-game with Nationwide picking up 4,100 points. Above Photo Finish, XO, and Germ all doing decent damage, near 3K each, and then Bird and 123 actually picking up decent damage there as well. So I think we need to give a little credit there to Dare making that difficult.
However, it is Ghost Town. This is one of eClipse's strongest maps, so you know, showing why that's continuing to be the case. And then on to the second page. Nothing too surprising there. T1 Diabetic, 2,400, 52 fantasy points. Dark God Zim and Drock down there. Aggressor and Durgel. Harmless and Dark Ninja all struggling to really get into that fight. But, yeah, you know, overall, I like out of eClipse, it was very fluid, very, you know, moving around, understanding when to not overcommit. They said, all right, this is no longer a favorable situation. You know, sometimes when a push is decided, you go, all right, push. We'll just go into it no matter what, take some damage. Yeah. But they understood, all right, we're in position. This is what we're looking for, but this tank is already gone. We're not going to get this. Why are we going to push into a bad position? And they were able to pull back and regroup. And it was just overall good play from them. All
right, now let's take a look as we move on, James, to Sand River. Back to it, just like we had in Battle 1 earlier today. Looking at the lineups, though, we've got 2 IS-7s, 2 5As, 3 Bat Chats for eClipse. Nothing crazy.
They're coming in there with 2 5As, a 103, 3 Bat Chats, and an Object 140.
Not bad.
Once again, seeing that 140 come out, used to be, you know, the Russian mediums used to be all the meta back in the day, especially in 754. I guess I could call it a medium. 254 lightweight. It basically was a medium tank.
Yeah, it was basically a medium. It was a T54 just rebalanced so that it was a light tank, which I was totally a fan of.
Yeah. Can't imagine why.
Who would have guessed? Give me a smaller, lighter T54 in my dreams. All right, opening scout run T1's going to spot Aggressor Bird as well. Nice. Little vision there. We'll see if anyone's going to get damage into Bird or any of those tanks as they move up and forward. Photo Finish might just be that guy. Looks like he's going to get 458. Makes Nation. Looks like he takes Nationwide's driver out as well. And that's good.
Nationwide running rations? Let's find out. No, he has the first aid kit, so I think he's waiting to just close, make sure no one else gets
hurt,
taken down, and not have him for another minute until he's safe. So I expect him to use it here in a second once he's been on this berm.
Nicely done.
Either that, or there's just the unfortunate circumstance where he may not just realize that his driver's dead.
Like he just didn't notice for a moment.
Didn't notice. You don't see it. It happens every now and then.
Yeah, it does. Fair enough. Although he could just be depending on it. Sometimes a slow driver will inch you up.
Now you use it. It's on cooldown.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Photo Finish is going to back off from his position. This is a very defensive kind of setup from eClipse. You can see how they've kind of backed up from both of their cap points. They've decided instead of taking more forward aggressive spots where you're in it, where you are absolutely going to run into your opponent, just back off a little bit and try and bait your opponent in.
Well, if you look at this setup they're running, you know, well, they only control this bottom corner of the map, essentially, or if you want to draw it down into here.
Even less, though, in some areas.
They have a strong crossfire. These guns can help here, along with this gun. This IS-7 could scramble over here to get shots into this area next there. If they push up here, all they have to do is drop back into this area, and all of a sudden this gun can help, and these guns can help. There's just all these crossfires, all these different ways, and so it's very tight. They can all cover each other, so definitely keep an eye on it going forward, because they won't have to rotate too far to cover each other.
Yeah, but the weaknesses here are, of course, that, well, it's quite difficult to cover your own caps. You can even, a tank can even get on cap from Dare without being spotted.
Now you have that, and you also have the fact that, once again, passive defenses, we've talked about it, it's the same thing. You know, just because they're number 1 and 2 in the league doesn't mean they don't do it either. So definitely also keep an eye on that, because if the right intel comes in for Dare and they understand this defense, they may be able to find some overmatches.
And like now HE's coming out now from Nationwide and Aggressor.
Well, we saw this happen, I believe it was Top Tier versus, or who was it that played 07? Elevate? It was one of the games where 07 put the SGRV up in that top corner, and they ended up being HE'd out. So, you know, not impenetrable. Now the IS-7 is going to have a bit more longevity, I guess the best word to use for it there. Still not impenetrable though, and could go down eventually.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, always relevant phrase is death by paper cuts is still death.
Yes. And we'll see what happens there. As Dark God is actually not taking too much damage yet. It's relatively okay for him right now. And it's going to be on Dare to see what they're going to do in order to figure this one out. Because they've been shifting those Bat Chats around back and forth and back and forth. This is, and it kind of reminds me of old times when people used to just rotate mediums to try and find a push, you know, or a scout out of position just by rotating back and forth and back and forth, and just hoping that your opponent would do something.
Yep, and now look at this. The Batchats coming up in the blind spot here for Dare. Pushing up, they might find Germ. Now this is where the crossfire is going to be important. Those Batchats need to make sure they get into a position where they can cover. Now if they go for a dual push and they push in those 5As onto the 5A photo finish at the same time as these Batchats come out, they could find enough of an isolation and overmatch here to make it work for them.
Yeah, they could. The dangerous part here is the Batchats overlooking this position from...
No, they're not spotted yet, and Germ is going to get close enough to proxlight them. He doesn't know they're there. Now he spots them. Now he knows he has to back up.
1-2-3 actually gets a little direct from an off angle, and they're gonna have to go. Harmless is gonna start closing the distance. Dark trying as well. Now the question here is, do you go and get the kill and try and, you know, close on this, or do you risk it?
Just
Harmless
depends.
is
Harmless
going to.
getting focused out. Batchat's in a good position to cover. He's down to basically a one shot, and Germ's gonna back up a little bit farther.
Dark's getting a little bit too much into the red. Because of that, I'm worried about him. Starts to take 5.
Germ gets one more shot, and he's going to go down, but what was the toll there? It looks to be about 2,000 or 3,000 HP for Dare just to get that one tank dead.
Yeah, and that's going to be control of a reasonably powerful position. They're going to be able to get Durgel into position. That's going to be what's important as we go ahead. Where is Durgel? There he is. Durgel, once he's in position, though, he can start raining damage on all sorts of tanks. So that's going to be the important part of this push from Dare. eClipse can still try and make some counter plays maybe, or retake control of some area of the map. If they can do that, James, that's where they can make their way back into this one.
I like this out of eClipse. They got an advantage. They had all their tanks spotted, and now, well, actually Positive gets spotted, so he has to back off and stay where he is. But the Batchats are all flexing around right now towards the other side. Now they are leaving the WZ exposed, but they're going by just the threat of knowing that those guns were last spotted overlooking him. That's going to be enough to slow Dare down from pushing onto him. Positive spotted again, so this is going to be unfortunate because now they're spotted. Now this could work against them if they're not careful, because now no one is covering Dark God Zim and that I-7.
And right around the north, Zim, photo finish, moving up. They're going to start focusing on Nationwide. It looks like Exo's going to join the fight as well, and this will have to resolve quickly. If it can resolve quickly enough, this is great for eClipse. If not, watch this battle turn on its head. There we go. Bird's taking plenty of damage now. Give him a moment. In the backfield there, he's trying to take cover behind a rock, but it's there's only so much that can be done. And they're Positive moving up.
Now the Batchats are going to be spotted for Dare Rising. They're going to get caught out. Harmless is down to a one shot and gets deleted by photo finish. Good shot there. Drock just trying to keep the lights. STRV is now right on top of him in a spot where the rest of his team shouldn't really have the supporting shots. However, I think they're just going to let Drock go down while the rest of the team pushes over onto the WZ. They take down the 140 as well at the same time. Good coordination there from eClipse, and this is starting to spiral out of control for Dare.
That it is. And I think that's going to actually start spelling the end of this one. It's very unlikely that 1-2-3 or Aggressor can really hold on that much. There we go. Dark God Zim getting another kill. Looks like 1-2-3 is out in the open trying to do what he can, but it's going to be difficult. The captain is going to start. 1-2-3's on reload. We've got his battle buddy, Dark Ninja, on reload, and we've got the Sturv getting flipped. He's actually just getting pushed off.
Oh, he gets out of siege mode and tracks, but it's going to be unfortunate because we get focused out.
Yeah, that didn't work out. Now 1-2-3 is alive, but who's going to get it? T1 should be able to pick up that kill, as 1-2-3 just barely avoids him.
Drock actually gets a nice shot from downtown in that 5A. Takes a returning shot, and now Dark Ninja's trying to return a little bit. But
there we go, T1 gets a kill.
Positive closing in the Batchat. Looks like he's going to try to get the kill here. Still doesn't know he's on top of him.
Nope. Surprise, surprise. And there we go.
Positive picks up the kill, and that's going to make it 3-0 in favor of eClipse, and they're starting to run away with this. Dare, a team that's been known to go on tilt and not recover, notably the fourth place match last finals.
Yeah, we discussed them as being momentum-based.
Yep.
It is very much to do with the early performance, and the exception to that is if they come back late game, if they pick up another win, like here on this next side of Sand River, or maybe if we go into Himmelsdorf.
If they don't get this next round, it is going to be a 5-0.
You think so?
Looking at knowing that it's Himmelsdorf next, yeah, and it's going to be Dare having to defend first. Yeah, I think that's a 5-0 if they don't get this next win.
Yeah, okay. That's I'm not going to argue with that. That makes perfect sense, and that's a little worrying. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, now teams are going to switch sides, and it is going to be Dare now on defense, and we've talked about it. Well, it hasn't been true so far tonight. This map definitely favors the defenders, so we'll have to see if they can hold on now that they get to the other side. Now, I like the little intricacies that eClipse went for that game. Hey, we're going to cover our tank, we're going to empty all our shots, and we're reloading. We're going to unspotted and go rotate to the other side of the map and reappear somewhere else and try to dictate the play as the defenders. Now, it almost actually worked against them because Positive got spotted leaving that hill, but they still held on to make it work in the long run.
Yeah, things ended up working. So, draw cap on eClipse this time.
120 fantasy points.
Not
bad at all.
Not bad. Aggressor still putting up solid damage. Same with Dark Ninja. Look at it. Even though they're losing these battles, they're making their way to the front page.
Yep, and the normal people that are on that front page not finding themselves up there. Photo Finish got caught out pretty early on behind that rock. Positive was sniping with the Bat Chat at long range to pick up 2 kills, but only 1,100 damage, 45 fantasy points. And looking at it right now, Dare really need to get something going as we go into battle number 4.
Yeah, they need to turn things around right now. Losing here means you can only win in a tiebreaker, which is not good for Dare.
No, they need to win in regulation to hold on to that spot. But right now, eClipse are on the way to seizing that second place spot. And to do so, they are going to bring an I-7, 2 5As, 3 Bat Chats, and a T100. Dare Rising, 2 5As, 103, 2 Bat Chats, an M48 patent, and a 140.
Always love seeing those patents now. I used to be more skeptical, but I'm team patent. It's a solid
with the new buffs, yeah, it's definitely a lot more viable.
Yeah, it used to be a tank that, while it had merits, the weaknesses were just you couldn't ignore them.
Yep.
Just couldn't.
And 123 actually running, instead of vents, running coated optics on a patent as well. So he has 420 base view range and then throws 10% on top of that, plus these crews, and he's running rations. So no fire extinguisher in the patent. So he's maxed out his view range pretty much as far as it could possibly go.
And then a little early jump right here from Dark Ninja and Nationwide. That is how you get up there. And Dark Ninja's going to have a nice high ground to mountain goat around and snipe with his Bat Chat. So pay attention to those little jumps everywhere. These guys know them inside and out.
Absolutely. And now 123 just poking around in the south.
Getting spotted.
Getting confused why he's not spotting anything in return.
It's because it's a light tank, and while you are a patent, you just barely can't beat that.
Camo value of that T100 is very strong.
Yes. And there he goes. He's like, I'm just going to put this tree here.
And this is like the situation we were talking about earlier with Knight in the T100 on mines. Well, look at the difference between mines and then this. Look at the ranges, the way the hills play. There's a lot more room for that T100 to get around and to do his job, where on mines there really isn't that much room to move at all and get boxed in like he did. So, Dark Eyed Zim just showing exactly how to do it on this map. Notice he's not really sitting still. He's poking up, goes over one ridge, sees if he can spot it, backs down. Just doing what he can. They still actually haven't spotted the Bat Chat all the way down in K0 yet. They only know that the M48's there. They haven't spotted the Bat Chat. Actually, it's the 140 of Aggressor down there the whole time.
So this looks like it's going to end up being a north push one way or another, right? And you got IS-7 around to the south, but I don't know if you want to keep with that, right? Moving back around north, maybe.
I would hold him personally. I think putting him at like F3 with maybe a tank up on the booster and base, while the rest really bully that cap. Because what that does, that shuts down the whole inside angle along the D5 corner there. We see a lot of teams try to work. Basically what F7 did earlier on defense, tried to take the south in that inside corner, and what a couple tanks there would do is shut down that one side where you have the 5 other tanks for the cap in the north at that point. So maybe something we'll see out of eClipse before too long.
Yeah. And there we go. Little damage being done. Harmless taking a shell.
And actually, it's going to be eClipse themselves are going to start pushing around that same bend that I was talking about on the outside there.
It's a strong play if you can make it, but a little dangerous in this scenario. They of course don't know exactly how.
Now remember, we get to see everything, so these guys are only going off the spots that they have.
Yes.
We have that extra knowledge that they don't quite know yet. Now looking at it, Harmless just working on ridge and bouncing a shot off the side of his turret. cause photo finishes going for the Coppola there on top. It's a really tight gap, especially with Harmless moving back and forth constantly.
Yep, that's how you make the trick work. And then you can see how Dare is kind of grouping up. You see how they're pulling everything out of the south, really expecting that this is going to become a fight for the 2 cap.
Now looking at it, oh, positive, getting caught out. Takes
858, there's 2 shells. Ouch.
Tanks putting nice volley there.
Yeah.
Positive getting caught out a little bit.
That's how fast these guys are. You peek up for just a second, and they're on you.
Good focus fire, good coordination. And lucky for Positive, hitting a perma-track or ammo rack.
And there we go, nice vision onto Dare. Durgel, Aggressor, and 1-2-3 are spotted. It's going to be pretty decent. Looks like Exo, though, takes damage in his bat on the way out. He might actually be forced to take another shell, as it does look like Dark Ninja has an angle, or he had an angle. It's gone now, but if Exo decides to keep going forward, he might have to risk
They're looking for
Harmless might be able to find it, not quite though.
Risky from Exo.
Yeah, he's in for a delicate spot. He cannot afford to go down right now. You don't want to be that bad chat that goes down. It looks like Cap's going to start at the same time. And Photo. Whoa, Photo. Why? He went way up and over. That was aggressive. He got himself racked and lost more than half his hit points for it.
Exo getting the shot there into the side of that 5A. Being just a nuisance, playing a really risky game. The longer he's alive, worse it's going to be for Dare. However, they are up on HP by about 2,000 right now, so worse position.
Yeah, and then, of course, Dare is able to actually hold off the cap. Positive is forced off by taking some damage. And Dark God Zim's not able to do much better, as he's just forced into a divot. So right now, not huge gains for Eclipse, but oh, there's a gain. Okay, never mind. So I take it back. Harmless is down. That's a taking down 1 gun isn't.
And the same situation we saw in Ghost Town. There, Exo's going to go down. I was about to say 7 tanks alive, all low HP, but nope, Exo goes down, ties it up 6-6. HP still 3K in favor of Dare.
And now with Nationwide having taken down Exo, there's a beautiful alternate angle for Nationwide to exploit onto Photo Finish and draw cap. If he can manage to get there. Trick is, of course, T1 Diabetic was just down south in that cover, and well, he's on reload. I don't know if Dare perhaps knows. Dare's probably going to want. There we go. Nationwide puts 1 shell towards draw cap, bounces off though, and Dark Ninja's going to move up and over. A full health bat chat. Actually, he's going to risk it, and it's going to be worth it.
Going to find the shot onto Photo.
Nice.
Rock not able to sim for him, recognizing at the last moment. Now these guns are not positioned to really punish, and this could be Dare Rising taking a page out of Teal Team 6's book and really punishing that. Well, the bat shots are all in reloading and moving away.
It's working out. That's exactly what's happening. So it looks like a matter of time right now. 4 guns against 6, and T1 Diabetic has Nationwide caught out. Not bad. He's actually able to pick up that kill, evening the score a little bit. He's going to find Dark Ninja at range. And T1 has not taken any damage. Positive is down, so now 3 tanks alive for Eclipse. But they're in a clutch situation where hit points on both sides isn't bad enough to be a major concern. So Germ, though, is kind of pinned, and that sucks for him.
And HP's actually evened itself out, but I don't think there's enough guns in position really for Eclipse to really punish this, as Germ is going to lose all his HP right now. Does get another shot of damage off, but no matter how much damage Dark God Zim pumps out in a little light tank, it's not going to be enough to salvage this.
Yeah, for a moment I was wrong there, and I thought the I-7 might be in a safer spot, or Dark God might be able to get some more damage out, but ultimately it's all about T1 right here. And well, now the focus fire has found him, and he should be going down. There we go.
Yep, and Dare really needing the win right now, and they're able to pick it up. That should be making it back 3-1. However, we are going to be going on to Himmelsdorf next. And like I said, they are on defense. Now, Himmelsdorf, we've talked about meta and attack defense and kind of the arms race of strats. Himmelsdorf is one of those maps that's gone back and forth over the years. Yeah. Like, really, really gone back and forth.
Aggressor sneaks in that final shot, gets the kill, and that's going to be a point on the board for Dare. So, they have a chance. We said it, if they'd lost there, it was probably going to end up as a 5-0, at least your prediction. Now we won't get to see if that's true or not.
Yep.
We're going to find out what happens when Dare finally puts a point on the board at the end of Sand River, right before we go into Himmelsdorf, where we will be having Dare defending first. So, that's a good place to turn this around. Of course, you have said this before, and we all know Eclipse knows their way around Himmelsdorf.
Yeah.
And that makes it tricky.
You know, they've struggled on it in the seasons past, but this season they have not been shying away from it. Now, part of that you have to wonder, is that partly due to Germ, positive, being a little bit more comfortable on it?
What exactly is it?
You know, there's a lot of things that could be influencing in it. Now, the other thing, now EXO stayed alive there. Do you agree or disagree with that play? Sitting there, low HP bat, playing chicken with the heavies when he could have left and been a gun alive somewhere else. Do you think the risk was worth it?
Hard to judge. It's good or bad based off what the team was intending at the time. Let's say that.
So it depends.
It definitely depends. Everything depends.
All right. Now looking at the damages here, Bird having a very strong game. 4,000 damage, 1 kill, 98 fantasy points. 1, 2, 3 in the patent, another 3,200. 71 fantasy points. T1 Diabetic, top damage dealer. 4 Eclipse coming in there at 2,700, almost 2,800. 2 kills, 71 fantasy points. Photo Finish, a bit stronger of a game, 2,100 and 41 fantasy points. And we are going to go on to Himmelsdorf, which is going to be Photo Finish's playground, so expect to see some big numbers up out of him for the next couple of games.
Yep, and then look at that end a little bit. You see where everyone falls off. Those T100s not able to do a whole lot of damage today. Very rarely able to make that happen. Of all maps, I would have expected Sand River, but let's move the subject on. Let Sand River be, and talk now Himmelsdorf.
Yep. Now meta, what we were talking about.
Yes, returning to that.
A long time ago, 742, when you first started working here.
Back in my day.
Yeah, it was very defensively sided, especially towards the north. Had some very strong setups.
And player skill at the time made it nearly impossible.
Yep.
Also, everyone's confidence, I have to say.
Then we went to attack defense with that cap over on the 1-2 line, a little bit further to the south, and the cap in the north a little bit further to the right. You saw a lot of hold downs, togs, other stuff. What am I looking at, Randall?
James, the lineups, James.
Oh, boy.
You guys are going to see it in a minute, but this is... All right, we can do this. We got a 50B, 2 mice, type 5, 5A, T110 E3, and a bat chat on the other side. Dare bringing the heaviest lineup with 4 mice, 2 type 5s, and a T110 E3.
They didn't break the 20K mark, though.
They didn't, but that's still a lot. We haven't seen this many on the battlefield. I think we've only seen 3 for the most part, and then normally we'd see, maybe 2. But I mean, right now, going back to 4,
middle of last season, we were seeing a lot of mice.
I was glad to get away from that.
Yeah.
It's just I don't hate the tank. I like to go fast, and well, it's not a fast tank. Gets
None
in a
of
position.
The tanks that they're brought are fast tanks, to be fair.
Yeah.
And they're actually going all the way south, trying to avoid being spotted, but I think Positive's in their position to spot this.
And now everyone has started to... Dark Ninja gets himself spotted, but he's going to bounce that shell. Harmless peeks out, takes about half his hit points.
And the Type 5s are going to look for the shots. Positive's going to back up. No, not today.
What is this? Why? 390 and a Dark Ninja. Harmless is about half. And Aggressor's taking some damage. No one on the side of Eclipse has taken a hit. No one at all.
And Dare just threw away the natural HP lead that they had, and it's now basically even. Half a shot of damage between these two teams now.
All right. Well, that's got to hurt.
Now the question is, what did you accomplish by making that play, Randall? What did Dare gain by getting tanks across there?
They didn't. That's the sad part. Sorry. I'll stop being all depressed about it. And it didn't work. It just didn't work. The Dare was not ready for whatever was coming because everyone on the side of Eclipse managed to land shells, and well, that didn't go the opposite way. And you have Type 5s.
I could see what Dare was trying to go for in terms of they understood, hey, someone's probably going to be spotting this, let's try to get some damage. But the coordination, using Type 5s, which the best way to describe a Type 5 is an RNG cannon, in my personal opinion. I mean, that's really what it is on multiple levels. So whether you're going to penetrate or not, if you're going to actually hit your shot to begin with, and on top of that, if you do hit, how much damage you're going to do if you don't penetrate. And using 2 of them to lob some shells at a bat chat, hold down in a window across a courtyard 400 meters away, that's asking a lot, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. T110 E3 from T1 Diabetic's gotten himself on top of the hill while we've gotten this bat chat in the southwest. So a nice little distraction to get a tank into position. And with that, T1 may be able to get some shots into Dark Ninja 123 if they decide to shift out of their position. So right now, looks like right down the banana, 5A. And it's, yep, that's going to be it from eClipse. Looks like a shift over to the east into pressure onto the 2 cap. Nothing crazy. They've gotten decent damage already. Positive taking a risky push all the way out. Decides to cross the open courtyard. That is rare as an opportunity. And will he? He's gonna corner. Okay. They understand probably exactly what Dare was gonna do. They did their homework, and they decided to go with it because, well, everything is incredibly passive defensive positions. Well, the lineup like this, it's easy to read for them. And Positive's gonna just play a little corner game like this. He's not gonna spot anything, not yet. And at the same time, by the way, that's gonna be the 2 mice, Drawcab Exo, Dark God Zim and Photo Finish, those 50B and Type 5 as well, heading up north. They're going to go right towards that 2 cap, and we'll see, well, we're gonna see what eClipse can do to dig Dare out of their positions. They've gotten plenty of damage out. They have some damage dealers of their own. So right now things don't look too bad for eClipse. And there we go, some spotting. Positive gets lit, he's able to light Bird. Doesn't take any damage for it, importantly. And Mouse, Dark God, and Exo.
I like the read out of Positive here. He keeps checking that back A2 corner even though nothing's been spotted back there.
He knows that if he gets greedy, someone's going to pop out.
But he's pretty sure that someone's back there, and he's not second guessing it. You know, he took the little chance and went around the corner to spot Bird, but right afterwards he pulled forward and was just checking for that angle because he feels really positive. There's a tank back there.
You don't say. All right, Dark God Zim's moving forward towards the cap. Will he turn sideways and just kind of block for it? Oh no, little reverse angling and seeing what's there. There we go, on to the cap. Not activating the cap yet, by the way. Note that. You have to get your tank inside the circle. There we go. And there it is. Now Drawcab's going to get on the cap as well and make it 2. And with that, we'll see what Dare does to respond. There, HE splash from Aggressor. Onto Dark God, takes a little reset, but Drawcab's going to keep getting points. At the same time, you've got that hidden group. You see those, that Dark God, or Dark Ninja and 1, 2, 3. They'll be important to resetting if this gets too far.
We fixed the track. Get going.
And at this point, Positive lurking around in the south, trying to get some more intel. But at this point, I don't really see an end for Dare past just blatantly pushing there, because they may kill Dark God Zim, but even then that's not going to reset the cap. Trying to find that angle is going to be difficult.
That it is. We'll see, 30 seconds left. Positive down in the south, actually starts firing. Oh, gets a hit 392 into Bird. Not bad there. He's going to go hit himself onto reload as T1 spotted in the open. It's going to shift around south. Dark Ninja and 1, 2, 3 being spotted finally. Drawcab taking some damage. There's the resets that Dare needed. And this is a slow one, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry if you're at home going, why is this not more hype? This is
extremely delicate.
Extremely delicate, extremely slow. It's going to take a few minutes for everything to resolve. T1 Diabetics and this beautiful crossfire, forcing 1, 2, 3 forward. Even gets to reload. Nice 711 hit points of damage. And so those 2 defenders are now about half hit points. And trying to do something about cap. If you look at the hit points right now in the top middle of the screen, you can see 13,000 versus 15. Now down to 14, but you can see that there's a lead. And what's going to happen now is you're going to see focus fire. Can Dare outfocus eClipse? Can eClipse outfocus Dare? What's going to be that tipping point? That's what we're waiting for. So Exo still is on 3 shells, and there's plenty of tanks from Dare right now that would love to just find a 50B and just annihilate it. That's going to be the trigger though, and Exo's going to peek out, start putting damage into a wall. That's not good. All right, never mind. This takes aside. Push is still going on. Focus is on towards Harmless. Drawcab, Dark God Zim doing a decent job there. And Drawcab, nice job sneaking it in. And it is a 4 versus 3. Hit points between 3 of Dare higher, but eClipse has more guns.
And while that's been going on, Positive's been in a 1v1 with Nationwide, got 4 of his 5 shots off, and then dropped his clip.
There we go, Bird's down. That's a huge Type 5 off the battlefield, and now focus goes on to Aggressor. So he looks like he's waiting to reload, but now there's no hope. He won't reload in time.
And the wall of doom that was Dare Rising has been defeated and that is just going to be Nationwide in that E3 being chased around by Positive. He now has his gun up in the air, understanding that this is over.
Yep.
Positive's going to pick it up. Very well played by Positive that game, I must say.
All right, and that means that the only way this ends for Dare with any points is by tiebreaker. One more battle, one more on here on Himmelsdorf, and that should do it. That should.
Or can they win 4 straight?
If they can, they'll be coming back and putting 2 points on the board.
Yep. Sorry, go for it.
No, you were.
Oh, I was going to bring up something off topic, though. Updates from the offline matches, guys. It is going to be top tier taking down 07. That's going to be a 5-1 scoreline. And then Elevate taking on Aquatic M60s in a 5-0 fashion. I believe that game ended in about 23 minutes. So
yeah, 23-24.
Yeah, not quite breaking the record, but pretty darn close.
Yeah, it's kind of the way we look at Elevate matches right now is we record each battle time, and then at the end we're like, oh, did Elevate manage to do that? Not quite today. Not quite today.
Yeah, which, looking at this game, Dare, after this, I just don't know how I feel about that opening play. Having the tanks get spotted across there, and the one thing I will say about eClipse that I really like is they never took their eyes off that 5 line. So they made sure that they could know where, at the bare minimum, where the tanks from Dare were, which side of the 5 line they were on, and they were able to understand that. Setting up their play there, and if you look at it, Positive, the main one responsible for that, 3,700, 1 kill, and 90 fantasy points.
Great work in a bad shot on a heavy tank map.
Well, and I really like what he did down there in the south. How he kept the attention from some of those tanks from Dare. He's like, yeah, 6 tanks from my team are over there, but I'm going to be lurking down here and just kind of shooting you guys in the back. So you guys have to respect me. You don't have anything to chase me down, but I'm still going to shoot at you guys. So good luck. And he played that very well, getting off a lot of damage. So
taking advantage of that crucial pick. Yeah,
yep.
That's why a bat chat is often even picked on this map, is because you have to be able to match your opponent's agility on the map. You have to match their bat chat or their 50B or what have you.
Yeah, and actually we're going to see the same thing happen in this game. There's a few differences here, but Dare bringing a bat chat of their own and none to be seen for eClipse, instead opting for a 113, an IS-4, mouse type 5, a 5A, and 2 E3s.
All right, it's an IS-4 pick. All right, yeah. Dare is going to go for the 50B mouse 2 type 5s, 5A, 18-110 E3, and bat chat.
Yep, but where they don't have the bat chat, they do bring the 5A and the 113, and then the IS-4 is not the most agile of tanks, but it's not exactly slow either.
So as a heavy tanker, James, I'll let you take this one. Talk to me about that IS-4. Not the most common tank we'll always see, but what do you like about it?
The gun on it it's just kind of a average tank.
Like good enough in a lot of categories?
Yeah, the main thing is it's just really hard to kill. Before the mouse got its buffs, that was the main reason you brought it, was you wanted to put something somewhere and just be like, all right, man, just last for as long as you can. Just don't die. And the IS-4 does that fairly well. Good armor, a good turret. Has that weak plate on the top of the turret like the IS-3 has. That's pretty famously known. Not as bad as that tank, though. Lower plate's a little bit weak. There is a commander hatch on the front that can be killed, but it's a very, very good side-scraping tank. And the gun, once again, it's just an average gun. 400 alpha, nothing special. Does have heat rounds, which is kind of a downside. Or a plus, just depends on the situation. And in current meta, it actually might be more of a plus than a negative. In the past, it's been negative. But overall, so it can be a decent tank in the right position, especially when you put it in the place like EXO is right now, side-scraping off the clock tower on the 2-cap. It definitely could work in that situation. A little bit more survivability against the HE shells.
But outside of that, it's going to be a little bit less reliable in some ways.
Yes. Better gun at range than, say, the 5As. A little bit more accurate. I'll give it that, provided it has a little bit less alpha.
Yeah. There's enough tanks now running around that are heavies like the IS-4, 5As, IS-7, that it's starting to get a little bit hard to distinguish one from the other realistically,
Yep. They're decent tanks. When you're going to be pushing into a lot of guns, they're also decent tanks to do that. Clan Wars, for example, one line at Fisherman's Bay, if you have to attack the north end there, taking a couple IS-4s, waiting for a minute, and then throwing them down late. That can work just because they're so small, they're hard to hit.
Did you really just drop a Fisherman's Bay strat?
Yeah, well, it's just uses for the IS-4 in general, just trying to give everyone an idea.
I know, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
It's just a Fisherman's Bay strat.
It's an old map, that's for sure.
I remember those days. Okay. Look at that, Dark Ninja getting some spots on the 0 line there.
Yeah. And I will note, in today's meta, the S4 is largely extinct. Not trying to act like it's super
endangered.
Meta all of a sudden. No, it's for a while back in the day, especially when I was one of the few tier 10 heavy tanks, it was like that and the mouse. It saw a lot of play, but you know.
And that less and less now. It's I actually used to prefer it over the IS-7 for a little while, just because of the way the gun handling was. I just liked it.
Yeah.
It was a good.
No, it's always been a decent tank. It's just that's the problem. It's always just been decent.
Yeah. It's never shown in quite the right angles to make it amazing. Although if you talk to Photo Finish, he'd probably tell you all about why he likes the IS-4 versus the IS-7 and the pros and cons of each.
Yep, and well, we've been talking on that 3-minute rant about the IS-4. Dare have pushed up the 8 line slowly.
Just starting. And there we go. Damage onto, that's Aggressor. So there we go. eClipse making Dare pay the toll again. And then Nationwide. Look at that.
No,
Moving
eClipse
down
need
the
to be
hill.
careful. Only 2 tanks in the south down here, and there's 3 tanks still there. So maybe some bait for Dare right now, showing all his tanks up here, hoping that eClipse push into it. We'll have to see if they fall for it, because that 113 is getting to the point of no return here.
You got a good point right there. This isn't exactly the most agile lineup.
Yeah, now
because
he's
of that.
spotted, and now the Type 5's in behind. Now he's the only one spotted. They haven't spotted the other 5A or the Type 5 yet.
Yeah, and that's going to be Positive chilling out. He's actually amongst the rubble, so what he can do is be really nice and distracting here and possibly tell the rest of his team that, hey guys, there are 3 tanks, which are now spotted. We need to deal with this. And the thing about Dare is they don't necessarily know that all of these tanks from eClipse, these red tanks, that 113 and the 5A, they don't know if they're truly alone. There could be something else sneaking around here.
And unfortunately, because they all grouped up, they all get spotted, and eClipse know that they're there, and they have fast enough heavy tanks to turn and run away. And because there's only
Nice shot.
Bird, nice shot.
Turn.
Yeah, because it was only Bird was the only quick one down there. He couldn't really chase. He got the 1 shot off, but he couldn't go after them because he'd risk being overmatched himself 2v1 if he got too far out of there without his teammates' support.
Yeah.
So just leaving that 5A down there, and the 113's just going to keep on running.
Oh, and this is painful for EXO. Look at where he is in the IS-4.
Death by paper cuts is still death.
Yep. He's about half health. He's going to be changing to... No, he's going to go
At
with
least
his,
this isn't as bad as the couple times we saw, I think it was Rival, break out the 50Bs and load HE clips and just try to spam the HE clips at the tank sitting there.
Oh no! Dark Ninja almost flipped himself. But not this time. And there we go. Shells coming in Nationwide 46. Has a minute on cap. And, well, right now with a minute left, EXO's going to have to be the one to get the reset. HE, though, isn't a big problem for him. He's got plenty of shells, 10 of them. And he should be able to splash out that Type 5 if it comes to it. But right now you can see on the mini-map all of the tanks of eClipse right now, just moving across the AB line right towards those defending tanks. And there we go, shells coming out from every which way. On to Nationwide and Dark Ninja. EXO not angling quite right.
Oh, and 123 is going to get caught out. Type 5 coming around the corner. Only 533. And the support fire is trying to come in right now, but 123 is probably going to go down here. He gets off his clip. Toll has been paid from eClipse, though. Now
113 should have the kill, or Germ.
Somehow 123 is still alive, and they're Positive finally picks it up.
Crossfire from the south, though. Is it going to be as effective as eClipse was in the previous battle? Looks like it won't.
And now they understand that those tanks are down there, and they have to take this overmatch up here, along with reset that cap. Positive just going to push around as Photo Aggressor just backs off. 700, nice shot there from Aggressor, pretty decent roll. And now T1's going to come around, put 1 in there. Germ's actually going to bounce. Positive snaps another.
Nicely played. Okay, that should be the hold right there on defense. That, even though hit points are relatively close, you just saw Nationwide and Aggressor go down. Because of those 2 kills, that should be enough to clean this one up. And there we go, Dark Ninja's almost down. He's got 2 shells left, which puts him towards Germ, but Mouse versus Batchet, not exactly great. And now Bird, mostly alone. He's got some support to the west.
Yeah,
but not
Positive
more.
actually bounces a shot. I think it's this nice snap onto the lower drive wheel of Bird. That was a nice shot there from Positive.
Yeah. That's the kind of thing you can only ask for. And then Harmless, broadside into Type 5. Looks like he's going towards E3.
And bounces the shot from the E3.
Wow.
This isn't over yet.
Not quite yet, but it should be fairly soon. Just looking at what the way this is.
Now, Dark Ninja
Eclipse
is
should
actually
have
in a
the
decent.
answers.
Dark Ninja's in a decent spot right now. He's low HP, but if all these guns can fire, he might be able to get off some good shots onto these tanks. Dare could turn this around if they do this quickly enough.
Yeah, and now that Dark Ninja's reloaded, that's it.
Down
no,
he
he's
goes.
down. Okay, not quite enough to kill Drawcap. He's sitting on 6 hit points.
And photo finish from all the way over on the 5 line of the Type 5 gets the pick. And now Positive is going to be rushed by Harmless. Slowest rush ever. Drock sitting in the next cubby over is a one-shot.
And there we go. Harmless is fired. That's going to give enough time for Drock and Positive to both get shells into that Type 5. Get the kill they've been wanting. There we go. A little bit more should finish it off.
And that is going to do it, guys. 2 tanks left alive for Dare. They're moments away. Now just Durgel, and that is going to be Eclipse taking this 5-1 over Dare, rising, securing the 2nd place spot. And now they just have 3 matches left in the season to hold on to it to guarantee that bye to the offline regional finals.
Yep, and well done. That's great for Eclipse. They've been sitting here jockeying for 2nd place almost the entire season, and now they get to kind of get rid of that. With this will put 3 points on the board, won't it?
Yep.
Yeah, 3 points means that they'll be going from, what are they at, 19 or 20?
Well, let's see here. Pulling up the standings right now. They are going to. That should move them up into 2nd place, and that should be a solid 22 points they'll be sitting on.
Yeah.
So 23 actually. So 2 points above Dare Rising.
There we go. So that's good for them. They just have to keep it up, of course. If Dare were to pass them one last time in one of these last few matches, that'd be great for them.
The other thing to keep an eye on though is just looking at it. Elevate still have to play Dare on the last match day, so that's going to be, if Dare are going to have a chance, they need Eclipse to make multiple mistakes in the last couple match days, which I just don't see happening, especially since Eclipse's remaining matches are top tier, Teal Team 6 and 07.
Let's take a moment, though, because we have it, to review the match. Battles number 1 and 2 on Ghost Town went right into Eclipse's hands. And, of course, once we got onto Sand River, things got a little bit dicier, didn't they? When we got one win there by
It's been a very one-on-one-sided map, but it really favors the defenders when there's 2 equal teams. Didn't quite go that way earlier versus Teal Team 6 and F7, however, held true in this case. Both teams had a clear idea of what they wanted to go for, but neither was able to really execute. So just unfortunate there. Now looking at this last battle, Positive 3,200, 3 kills. Very fortunate he didn't get caught out early on in that 113.
Hey, he still did a great job there.
Yeah, no, just did a great job. Got around and got his gun into the fight. Good recognition that there was tanks there and to not leave himself there longer than he should be.
Durgel did his job. Germ, of course, in the mouse held pretty well.
1-2-3 in that 50B, despite getting caught out. Still getting off almost 2 clips, 66 fantasy points, not bad. Dark Eyed Zim, 2,500, 2 kills. And then T1 Diabetic in that E3. Did have that one broadside miss on Harmless, the bounce.
Yes, but he also had some solid connections that you really needed to see. That had he not landed a few of those hits on Himmelsdorf attack, the battle could have gone quite differently. But because he landed his shells that he did, he got it done. Yep,
and on the series, T1 Diabetic, top damage dealer, 360 fantasy points, not bad. Germ having a very strong match day. Kind of went under the radar, but a lot of consistent damage. Dark Ninja, no surprise there. Positive coming up there, 1,400, 9 kills, 380 fantasy points. Then Exo and Drawcab running it out. 1-2-3, a respectable 300 points. It's salvageable. Photo finish just short of that, 298, and then Bird all the way down at 223. That is going to hurt a lot of people since he had a decent pick rate this match day.
Yeah. All right, well, that does it for the post-match stats. I'm being told that we have T1 on the line and ready to go talking about this match. Sir, welcome back.
Thanks.
And, well, overall, that went much better for you guys than any of us had expected. What do you guys have to say for that match?
No, it's pretty much expected. It's like you said earlier, status quo. We practice. We should know it should be easy, so we played well. Sand River attack, the one we lost was somebody didn't listen. That was it. So
yeah,
got ahead of ourselves on Sand River attack. But other than that, everything else was just straightforward. Just plan our responses the way we need to.
Sounds fair enough. Now I want to go big picture for a moment. Last time we talked to Comps, we asked him who he thought his contenders were, and his words were no one, to exact words. What do you have to say about that? You think you're a contender for Elevate right now, or do you still need some work?
Yeah, obviously until playoffs, we don't play them again, so that gives us a lot of time from the end of the season to when we have finals. There's a lot of time for prep, so.
So if things go your way, the next time you'll play them is in the final match of our season?
Yeah, I mean, every time we play them on LAN, it's always close. So it just doesn't matter. I mean, even in finals, it's always going to be close. So.
All right, and then you know, on this map, you had a pretty strong match day. E3 there on that last game. What do you make of that offense from Dare? Because they, or excuse me, the defense, because they got kind of strung out there, and you guys really did a good job at picking them apart. What kind of went through your guys' team comms as you kind of formulated that offense?
We saw it. We were like, okay, this is the heavy camp. This is a bad strat. Like, you literally just like fuck yourself sitting in a corner. So any smart team will figure out how to work out and pick out and take damage. So, I mean, they just pretty much like just sat there and just let us farm them. So
Yep.
that was it.
I was going to say, and then Positive also played very well that round. That bat chat getting down the south. You know, he's really starting to turn up. You know, he was kind of questionable early on, then he's got pretty strong. But right now, he looks like a pure and solid beast. Do you guys think he'll keep that going into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely probably one of the best players. I mean, he's up there in the top 5 in the world, probably, as player skill wise. So, I mean, we knew what he had to bring when he came in. He's always been friends with Zim, so it's just we're happy and that we ended up getting him. So, and we know he's a great player. So,
all right, fair enough. T1, any final thoughts for the fans out there?
No, just thanks for watching. And hopefully, we can keep the momentum up and hopefully be able to beat Elevate.
Wow.
All right, thank you very much. Once again, congratulations on the win, and we'll see you next match day.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, always good to hear from T1. No fire drill this time.